All right, last example. Okay, this is example 36 from page 312. Okay, so a manufacturer of potbelly stoves has the following situation to consider. If X stoves are made each week, each one's going to cost 50 plus 400 over X dollars, and the total receipts for the week for selling them would be 550X minus 2X squared dollars. How many potbelly stoves should be made per week in order to maximize profits? So, just to help you remember, we have, let's see, profit is simply your receipts, or I like to call the income, minus the cost. Okay, so in this case here, our profit, the income, it says the receipts, that's the same as income for selling them each week, is going to be 550x minus 2x squared, and then we're going to subtract the cost. Okay, and then the cost for one stove, or for each stove, is 50 plus 400 over X. But again, since that's just for one stove, we got to multiply this here by X, because X is the number of potbelly stoves, and that's how much one potbelly stove costs. So we got to multiply it by the total number of stoves that we make. So got to multiply that by X. Okay, so now let's simplify this thing. 550X minus 2X squared. Distribute the negative through, negative 50, and then that's going to be negative, and then the 50x, and then the 400, these x's reduce out with each other, so minus 400. So we end up getting that the profit is going to be, let's write this in the right order, 2x squared. 550x minus 50x is plus 500x, and then minus 400. All right, so now that we have this, and since we know that this is negative 2x squared, we know that this graph is going to be a parabola because it's x squared, and since it's negative, it's going to open down. So here, right here, this here is our maximum. This is the number of stoves we need to make in order to maximize the profits. So this is the max profit right here. Okay. Now, of course, that just happens to be the vertex of this function here. So let's go with, we'll use our little x equals negative b over 2a to find our vertex. So in this case, let's see, we get x equals negative 500 all over 2 times a, which is negative 2. So that's negative 500 over negative 4, which gives us 125. So that means we need to produce 125 of these stoves in order to maximize profit. Okay, so 125 stoves to maximize profit. Okay, now they didn't ask, but if you wanted to figure out how much they would actually make for each of those, for selling 125 stoves, you would simply just plug the 125 back into, well, pretty much any one of these three. This would probably be the easiest one right here. But you plug that back in, and that will give you your P, your profit. Okay? All right. You should now be able to say that I can solve real-world type problems represented by quadratic equations. Okay? Please feel free to ask if you have any questions. Thanks.